Okay, so I actually got invited to speak at a KDP Mastermind in Barcelona, and I got to speak to new publishers that were just starting out, and I also got to help publishers that were making six figures a year, made hundreds of thousands, and even millions of dollars on KDP. Now, I couldn't go to Barcelona and just record everything by myself, so I took my good friend Anastasia with me, and he recorded everything. So I get to show you guys behind the scenes of what it's like to go to dinner with six-figure publishers, to talk to six-figure publishers, and to learn from each other in a mastermind setting. Let me show you what happened. So we arrived at the airport in the morning, getting ready to go to Vienna because we had connecting flights to Barcelona. We scanned the boarding pass, they let me in. Well, they almost didn't let me in, but that's okay, I passed. And then I scanned my ID just to prove that I wasn't wanted by the police. And then we spent around 10 minutes just walking just to reach the security part. Now, once we passed security, we actually went to duty free and checked out some cheap whiskeys.
Probably a really nice whiskey.
Now, of course, since I'm a nerd for books, I obviously had to go check out some book covers because that's what my speech was about as well.
The old ones, they didn't have this font. I think they had a different font. And then now, it was reprinted more and they tested out a different font and found that this one was better. You like it?
0.5. No.
Oh.
Once we boarded the plane, I was straight to work because my presentation wasn't even finished and it was due in less than 48 hours. So I needed to get things done. But that didn't last very long because food was served. Then we landed in Vienna, passed the security, found our gate, but we had a very, very important issue that we had to tackle before we boarded our second plane.
Gate is not open. Let's go toilet. Okay. Where's the toilet?
Now, throughout the entire journey, Anastasia had two main objectives. First, to learn Spanish, and second,
Maybe we'll see a Rolex.
now one thing we didn't realize is that we actually had to take a bus to take us to the gate, which was insane to me. I've never seen a bus take you to a gate. That's how big this airport was. I was mind blown. And once we arrived at the gate, we had to walk for like 10 minutes just to find our gate. We literally walked for so long, we thought we were gonna miss the flight. So we eventually found our gate, we scanned our boarding passes, got completely ignored by the woman, but that's all good because this airport was so fancy.
See, this one actually looks sleek.
This one looks amazing.
Oh look, it opens the door by itself. You get some fancy shit. It's super clean here as well. Do you get me?
Now, me and Anastasia were discussing in the flight how big the Vienna airport was. Well, that's until we actually landed in Barcelona.
This looks massive. How the fuck are we gonna figure out where to go? You don't have to like go through security or something.
Now, since the airport was so big and it would take us ages just to find the exit, I actually used this time to complain about my back problems to Anastasia.
Let's go chill because I can't feel my back.
Yeah, where do we leave? How do we leave?
Man, I'm dying. Man. We got back pain.
Yeah, we'll go to the suite now though, innit?
Oh yeah.
Barry KDP treats himself, innit? Let's go!
Now, here's the thing. When you put two Cypriot guys in the Barcelona airport, and by the way, Cyprus airport, especially in Larnaca, which is where we left, is so tiny. It's like you can walk from one end to the other end in 20 minutes. So when you put us in a Barcelona airport, there's only one thing that can happen.
We definitely got fucking lost in the airport, so I'm definitely talking
I mean, we got lost in the airport. I mean, come on.
But eventually, after asking for directions, we actually found where they were hiding the exit.
Sortida.
Now, we found a taxi outside, took us straight to the hotel, and one thing I didn't realize was that the hotel was on top of a train station, which was mind-blowing to me and Anastasia.
So the hotel is in the train station. In the train station, yeah. I didn't even know either.
So then we checked in and literally just passed out on the bed. We were so tired, I couldn't record anything else. Okay, so last night I wasn't able to film anything because me and Anastasia were both really tired, but this place is absolutely amazing. Check this out. Let me show you the toilet. First of all, the most important thing, I did not bring my robe, right? I'm not gonna come here without a robe. What? I'm Barry KDP. So check this out. Check out what they gave us. They gave us a fucking robe. You get me? This is absolutely amazing. So I'm gonna wear this, I'll show you guys later. Anastasia has one for himself. I think we have a jacuzzi, never gonna use it. Check out the view. The view is absolutely incredible. We get to wake up to this. This is amazing. And now check this out. This is absolutely amazing. I had no idea what this was until Anastasia showed me. Check this out. Guess what that is? Well, it has shoes on it, so it must be a shoe cleaner. President, look at that. Air Force is super clean. I have never seen this ever. Anyway, I didn't even know this existed. I thought people used to just sit there and do this thing. We have seen people do that. The shoe toppers or whatever. Yeah. I don't think there's anything else to show. There's a weird chair, more views. But I guess let's go get coffee and see what Barcelona is actually like. I can't even twist the seat. Oh, there we go, I can twist. See, when you talk, you can hear like the echo.
Yeah, they're supposed to be like sleep pods, are they? Maybe, yeah.
So I think it's just like cool chairs, but.
So we took the elevator down to the lobby to meet some of the members there, and I got to meet Ian for the first time. Now, this guy is absolutely incredible. Like literally every time he opened his mouth, it's like gold was coming out of it. So much value. Now, I'm gonna be conservative and say that he's making over 30K on KDP every single month. This guy, full of value. And the thing is, he achieved all of this. He's making 6 figures a year. And he only started KDP 2 years ago. Now, I asked him his biggest secret, and he revealed it to me. And he said he learns from the best. So he sees who's already doing it, he drops his ego, and he just learns as much as he possibly can from them. That's why he was so successful in literally less than 2 years. Now, obviously, I didn't have my notepad at that time, but I have a mental note of everything he said. Now, once all the speakers checked out the mastermind room, we actually collected all the members, and we went for coffee in Barcelona. Now, the conversations I heard here were absolutely insane. Absolutely insane conversations. I was having conversations with people, insane value, and then I could hear like the other conversations around me, and I was picking up other things. Like I was listening to some audiobook tips and like some secrets about audiobooks, and I don't even do audiobooks, but now I know because I was surrounded by those people. It was an incredible experience, and the best part is the event hasn't even started yet, and I got so much value already. Now, once we finished our coffee, we all went back to the hotel, and I actually took this time to finish off my presentation. So I stayed in the hotel, finished up my presentation, and then eventually me and Anastasia decided to go for dinner. We didn't know if the guys were gonna go for dinner. We didn't know if we were gonna be invited to the dinner. And it was like 9 o'clock, so we were like, okay, let's go for dinner. Now, as soon as we ordered our dinner, we actually got a message from Peter saying, hey, we're going for dinner, do you wanna come? And I felt terrible because I already ordered food and I seemed like such a... It's okay, I'll let the other Barry explain it. The event hasn't actually started yet, but it's starting tomorrow. But before it starts, we're actually going for dinner. So we're all gonna go for dinner. Well, I actually had dinner by myself with Anastasia. I didn't know the guys were gonna go for dinner, so I'm actually a little bit of an idiot because I went by myself. But everyone there, everyone who's coming to the event, well, I think half the people that are coming to the event, they're gonna be at the dinner. So we're gonna go and meet them at the dinner. I'll show you some things around. I'm not gonna film too much out of respect, but I'll film some things so you guys can see what it's actually like to have dinner with people that are making thousands on KDP. But anyway, let's go see the dinner. Now, little did we know, in this dinner, Anastasia would get to sit next to Ian, who was actually wearing a Rolex Yachtmaster.
Maybe we'll see a Rolex.
Now, Ian was kind enough to let Anastasia try on the Rolex, so Anastasia's mission was finally complete.
Well guys, we are going to start the event. This is a Dream Publishers Mastermind.
So day one of the event, we all met in the meeting room and Ian introduced Gerald for the first time. This guy was absolutely incredible. Like the knowledge that he has about KDP is insane. He was teaching us some things. I'm not going to reveal on YouTube what he was showing us because it's super valuable things, but he was spitting value. And even when I asked some very difficult questions, he was able to answer them instantly with absolute clarity. It was amazing. Now, during the start of the mastermind, my back pain was getting worse from sitting down, so I ended up just standing in the back like a loner by myself. Now, once Gerald was finished, we went for a coffee break, and then I got to talk to Andre as well, but I was also mentally preparing for my speech, because once the coffee break was over, I was the one talking.
I saw this guy from Cyprus. He had like a rope, a morning rope. You say it like that? Yeah. I sent the video of him to Peter, and he was like, "Oh, this guy is good." So I think that was the first time we saw Barry. Give him a warm up.
Now, we talked about some advanced principles like psychology and layout, and even testing your book covers. And obviously, if you know me, I'm Barry KDP, so there was a whiteboard next to me. I had to use that whiteboard. There's zero chance I would not use that whiteboard. Now, we actually ended the speech with a Q&A, and all the publishers got to ask me their questions regarding book covers.
I remember a while back, you mentioned maybe it was on YouTube that you have one book, and that one thing you said really stood out to me. You said you spent 20 hours optimizing the book cover. Can you tell a little bit about that optimization process?
Yeah, I mean, one of my first books, I actually wanted to show you in the presentation one of my first books, but I couldn't find my old book cover. Yeah, so the one that I talked about actually took me 2 days. That was a very bad book cover. Absolutely terrible. It was really bad. It was actually a dating book for men. Now, did I know anything about dating? Absolutely not. I was single. So what it was like just two people standing, one woman, one guy, literally just standing, and that's it. And my book cover was called, well, my book was called.
Once the Q&A was over, we had a quick break, and that's when I was actually able to speak to some of the members there and actually help them one-on-one with their book covers. Now, it wasn't just about book covers. We talked about everything from improving book covers, Amazon ads, to even like selling your KDP business.
I wouldn't sell it now that I know what I know.
Now, once the break was finished, Andre came up and he showed us how he was able to scale his account. Now, in 1 month, he scaled it 72%. Then in the other month, another 74%. And then the next month, another 45%, which is absolutely incredible. And then he showed us the mistakes that he made the first 2 months and how he was able to flip that so he can scale his account. Super valuable things. Again, I wish I could reveal it on YouTube, but I can't. It's just too valuable. And of course, I asked him a bunch of questions. And again, Andre was so crystal clear. He was just spot on the entire time. He answered every question effortlessly. Amazing guy. Now, because everyone was getting all this knowledge just straight away, we needed another break just to absorb everything, let it sit in our brain for a bit and process everything that we learned. And I actually got this opportunity to talk to Danny as well. Danny on Demand. You might know him from YouTube. Incredible guy, man. Such a nice guy, man. And this guy is actually a genius, especially when it comes to low content books. He told me some things that opened my eyes to low content books. So I appreciate that, Danny, man. Thank you so much. Now, we ended up socializing a little bit more, and then we went up to the hotel room to get ready for dinner.
Want to guess what Barry KDP does every day, guys?
This is exactly what I do every day.
This is what...
Can we steal this?
I don't know, man.
I think we can get this.
Now, we didn't end up stealing the road, but we did end up going to one of the most amazing dinners I ever had. We went to this restaurant. Everyone was so excited. There was so much seafood there, and you can literally just pick the seafood that you want. They measure it and cook it at that time. Seafood was so nice, but the best part is Anastasio got to practice his Spanish.
Hola, señoras.
Recording me before the coffee.
Yes.
Probably the best idea.
Yeah, but it is the second day, so...
It's just like moody Barry.
So I went downstairs to get some coffee. We ended up meeting Peter along the way, so we had some nice conversations about last night and the seafood. I went and picked up my coffee, socialized a little bit more with the guys just before the event started, and then we finally had our first speaker of the second day, which was Danny. And my God, did he open my eyes. He talked about some TikTok things. I'm not going to talk super in depth about exactly what he said, but he mentioned things about TikTok, things about his strategy, his pricing strategy, insane things. Again, I can't reveal, but Danny, man, you're a genius, man. Very, very smart man. He knows exactly what he's doing. Everyone was scribbling in their notes. He gave so much value. Now, once Danny was finished, Gerald came on. And again, you can't expect anything less than value from Gerald. Absolutely incredible guy. He knows what he's talking about. And then once Gerald was finished, then we get to socialize. Now, during the coffee break, everyone was socializing. Everyone was helping each other. And I was just sitting there in the corner by myself working. Nah, I'm just joking. Of course I socialized as well. Tried to help as many people as possible. Now, once the quick break was over, Peter revealed that we were going to be working in groups. Now, there's going to be 1 to 2 speakers in each group, and then that way we were able to help the people in that group one-on-one. This was an incredible experience because we were on tables with 30K per month publishers, 20K per month publishers, 7K per month publishers. Just the conversations at the table alone was incredible because everyone was learning from each other. This was one of my favorite parts. And everyone got to share their own insights to each other's books. Everyone was getting help from Danny, they were getting help from Gerald, they were getting help from Peter, they were getting help from me, they were getting help from Ian, they were getting help from Andre, they were getting help from everyone. I love this experience because we were able to help publishers actually scale their books in real time. So we could pinpoint the exact problems they have in their business and we can instantly fix it. Or at least they'll know exactly what their next step is so they can just make a lot more money.
One person here, one person on this side, and then one person here. Can you see how these are the same size? These guys are both bigger than these two. And then one over here. And then again, if you separate this as well, they got the 50 here, so they got this one over here. And then if you see the elements around, you see how they're...
We then had Andre show us some really creative ways of getting reviews. Now, this is not your standard go on Pubby or go on Get Book Reviews or go on these book review websites. It's nothing like that. He showed us some secret ways of getting reviews that was so effective, so effective. One of the most valuable things I ever heard. And thank you so much, Andre, for that. It was absolutely amazing. Once Andre showed us all those secrets, we were able to listen to Ian's story because he was able to make 6 figures on KDP in less than 2 years. So he was able to share his story with us and how he was able to achieve that. Very, very inspiring story. Now, we went for a quick coffee break, socialized a little bit more, got to help more people one-on-one, and then we ended the event with a Q&A from all the speakers. Now, once the event was over, everyone was taking pictures, and I wanted to take pictures with some people, so I asked Anastasio to take some pictures of me. And guess what he said?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know about photos, you get me?
I brought you to Barcelona, okay? I brought you to Barcelona, okay? I gave you everything. I gave you robes. I gave you everything. I'm not even gonna talk about last night. But skip last night. You got over one photo.
Now, after some hardcore selling psychology, Anastasia was able to take some pictures of me and the guys, and then we ended up going for dinner afterwards. This was the last dinner before we were gonna say our goodbyes.
Should I do it too? Por favor.
What's your first book gonna be?
My first book. Or maybe something with weed. Can I advertise it?
Of course you can have
Once the dinner was over, we went back to the hotel for Anastasia to practice his Spanish.
Peruano, amigo.
And then just went straight to sleep because we were so tired. Now, the next day, since the event was finished, most of the members left, but Gerald was actually one of the speakers that ended up staying. We had some free time, so Gerald was like, hey, do you want to have an interview? And I was like, sure, let's have an interview. So we had an interview with Gerald right in the morning. Very, very nice interview. We actually shared some secrets that you can go on Gerald's channel and watch it. It is in Spanish because Gerald works with the Spanish market. But again, if you understand Spanish, you're going to find some value in that. If not, then I'll ask Gerald if I can post an English version on my channel. So we went downstairs to the metro station. We checked everything out. We saw how deep the tunnel was and how scary the tunnel looked. We went inside a high-speed metal container with hundreds of other people. And then eventually we ended up in the middle of Barcelona. As soon as we got out the stairs out of the metro, we saw something incredible.
Hola. Oh my. Wow. I mean, I told you, see? We just got out of the station. We just got out from there and then it's just right there.
Now, this building was so big, it was insane. Now, I'm from Cyprus, so all our buildings are small. So you can imagine how big this was to me. Well, and obviously Anastasia appreciated it as well.
What the?
We saw a bunch of other buildings as well. I don't know anything about these buildings. We saw a guy on a rope. He was just walking on that rope. That guy was incredible. And then he just started swinging out of nowhere with 100% balance. We also saw this guy playing the guitar and the flute at the same time, something like that, like a whistle and the guitar at the same time. Again, incredible. And that's when I needed another coffee just to come back to life.
Oh, someone's really tired, guys. Look at this guy. This is Barry KDP.
I've been surviving 5 coffees a day just to function, to be able to give value.
Yeah, but that's you every single day. What are you talking about?
But
Stop coming closer to the camera.
for 2 days, okay, for the past 2 days it was 5 coffees a day. You get me? And now today, guess how many coffees I had today?
2.
Guess how many coffees I had today?
2.
I had 1 coffee.
You had 2, you liar.
We went to get coffee and then went straight to the beach. The beach looked so nice, but Anastasia had one complaint.
It is a bit cold though, isn't it?
And he was right, it was a bit cold. So we ended up just going straight to the hotel room, getting ready for our flight the next day. And then the rest is history. We woke up early in the morning, we got a taxi straight to the airport, got our flight to Switzerland, from Switzerland to Cyprus, and here I am now. No more Barcelona Barry, just present Barry. So yeah, that was my trip to Barcelona. Now, if you want to work with me one-on-one, just click on the link in the description. If you want to see more videos from me, then I would recommend this one right here. I think you're going to find this one extremely valuable. I hope this is good in the camera. But yeah, this one that just popped up, just go click on this video. You're going to find it super, super valuable. But anyway, go out there and make a bunch of money on KDP.